Hi everyone, hope you are doing well. So in this video we will see the recomposition count. So whenever there are some unnecessary recomposition happens, then it may decrease the app performance. So we will see how we can check the recomposition count. Okay, so we can see the recomposition count by navigating to tools, then layout inspector, or you can click on this icon also. Okay, now we can just launch our app. Okay, once we launch our app, we can see the UI components. Like this one is a column. First one is our header UI. Now here we have this row, and in the row we have two buttons. Okay, you can turn on recomposition by clicking on this icon. Just click on this icon and select show recomposition count. Okay, now I click on this button. So here you can notice the current button state got changed because we have clicked the button. So it applies some ripple effect to change the button state. So this got changed, and once the button got clicked, we are calling this lambda function, and lambda function updating the live data, and this live data is used in a header UI. So whenever we click on the button state got changed, and at the same time the text view state got changed. So if you notice here, our second button didn't got changed because there is no link between these two buttons. Okay, now let's say I click on the subtract button. So subtract button composition change, and similar way text button composition change. Okay, so currently there is no issue with this UI design. So let's first reproduce the issue. So what we will do, so if you notice here, for this composition function we are passing a live data. Okay, so we are making a dependency on live data feature. Okay, what we can do, instead of live data we will pass an integer value here. So this function have no dependency to other framework. Okay, now we can remove this one, and we will remove this one from here. Okay, now we go to this part. So here what we need to do, here we need to pass count live data dot observe as state dot value. So it is giving error because by default it will be of nullable type. We need to pass a default value. Okay, now see what happens. Now I click on this add button. So if you see here, the composition count for this button got changed, this button got changed, and this text also got changed. So the reason for this is whenever I click on a button, then it will go to lambda function, and lambda function change the live data, and this live data is observed in this composition function. So it will call this particular scope edit UI again. Okay, so that's why we can see the count for this button as well. Okay, so how we can solve this issue? So whenever this issue happens, instead of passing the value directly, we need to provide the value by lambda. Okay, so how we can provide this value with the help of lambda? So first we remove the state from here. Okay, now instead of passing this value directly, what we will do, we will pass a value by lambda function. Okay, so I have created a lambda function body. Here I will give the value current count dot value. Okay, so default value will be 0. Now I go to this function, so I need to change it to lambda. So what will happen here, there will be one function which will give me integer value. Okay, now I just need to change it to lambda. Okay, and here we need to change to this one. Okay, now what we are doing, instead of directly passing a value, we are passing a value within the lambda scope. Okay, now let's see what happens. Now I can click on it. Okay, now I click on this button. So now you can see this button state got changed and this text button got changed, and there is no impact on this button. Okay, similarly I click it one more time. Okay, now button state got changed. Similar way we can click on subtract button. It should not have any impact on this button. So if you see, its count still 3 and its count got increased. So this way we can avoid unnecessary recomposition to increase our app performance. So that much for this video. In the next video, we will learn how we will use material library to create toolbar, navigation bar, and bottom navigation view. So stay tuned for further updates.